book signings are generally fun because you're generally preaching to the choir. That's how come they're here, and so that always makes it more fun. This latest book I wrote, I did it for my own personal reasons, really. And I've been studying the murder of John F. Kennedy diligently since the mid-'80s. When professional wrestling changed in the middle '80s, it used to be territorial, where you lived in a vicinity and then you drove in that immediate area to wrestle. When they took it national and we started going to airports and flying on airplanes everywhere, anyone that's ever done that for a living knows that it's extremely boring, that you spend hours in airports and hours on planes every day. So I thought, why not educate yourself? Why not begin reading and do something rather than sitting and just staring out a window on an airplane? And so I had the passion for the Kennedy killing because it's always evolving. I like to refer to it as Harry Potter in a way. There's always new books that come out every year or two as more information surfaces through these literally billions of documents that they don't allow us to see, or if they do, you got to go find it yourself. And but that's what makes it interesting, because every book you read, yes, you'll get review with things you don't know or do know, but there's always something in every book that, wow, that jumps out that, gee, I didn't know this. And in the case of the murder of our president, it's like a gigantic jigsaw puzzle. And every book provides you with a few more pieces to that puzzle. Now, people often ask me, who did it? It's been 50 years. That's difficult, especially with the extent of the cover-up that went on. But you can put together that jigsaw puzzle and get enough pieces up there to where you know what the picture is. And you can be pretty definitive on that. The one thing I'll state to you unequivocally after doing this book, I stand by it, and can I tell you who did it? I can get close and I can give you a lot of scenarios, but ultimately that'll be your judgment to determine that. But I can tell you who I believe didn't do it, and that's Lee Harvey Oswald, the person who's been blamed for it for all these years. I do not believe he did it. I don't believe anything of the sort. When you look at the evidence and you see how it all laid and played out, you can see that he was a pawn in a powerful game, and he was a low-level intelligence agent for our country, and I believe that his children still live today, and that it's high time that their father be cleared of these charges that he's been saddled with without a trial. I remember I did Tom Sullivan a week or so ago on Fox Business News, and they did the lead-in, and the lead-in said, "Convicted killer Lee Harvey Oswald." And as soon as it got to me, I said, "Tom, see what you guys in mainstream media do? Convicted killer." I said, Lee Harvey Oswald was never convicted of jaywalking. He was never convicted of this crime. He might have been convicted in the public opinion by mainstream media, but he was never convicted. No one was ever put under oath. No trial ever took place, except the Garrison trial, which that didn't try Lee Harvey Oswald, that tried Clay Shaw. And thank goodness for that. The trial was a failure, but it was also a success, because had Jim Garrison not did that trial in the latter 60s in New Orleans, we would have never seen the Zapruder film. Why? If it's what they told us, why would they hide documents and film from us? That's what I always question. If the official story's official, and not just to protect officials, that's why they call it the official story. If the official story is what they say it is, why would they feel a need to cover up anything? The truth is what it is. I always love to tell people about my run for governor here in our great state. I tell them that I never once used a prepared speech, and they're astounded over that. And I go, well, it's really not hard. It's not difficult. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You don't have to remember what you said yesterday if you're telling the truth, because the truth is what it is. Oh, it is. It is it is what it is. And if you tell the truth, you don't need a great memory because you know what the truth is. And in this case, I think that, and then we'll open for Q&A. You know, I don't want to just sit here and give you rhetoric all night. We'll hear what you want to talk about and try to discuss that. But this is an important event even today, and I'll tell you why. And again, remember the word they. I can't rightly tell you who they are. But remember this, if they can get away with killing our president and hide it from us for 50 years now, what can't they get away with? And that's really the essence of the book and why we still, for young people, that some are here, who weren't even close to being alive when John Kennedy lived, it's still important to you today. Because if they can do that, they are still getting away with it. And it's time for the truth on this. When you read this book, you're going to be astounded, and it's going to be laughable, a lot of things. When you read it, you go, you got to be kidding. But a lot of it is going to be new news to you, unless you're an aficionado of it, which some people are. I know a few here in the crowd that I can look at it and know they are. But you're going to see things in this book, if you're not, that you're going to say, why wasn't I told this? Why wasn't I made aware of these things? Like the fact that, I'll give you a quick one, the automobile, the car, the Kennedy limo, that's a crime scene. Everybody watches TV at night and sees all these cop shows. You don't have to be a police officer to know what happens. What happens? They put the yellow tape around it, right? Nobody's allowed to touch nothing till forensic and all the scientists get through with it. They need to gather evidence. Well, the president's car was a crime scene. When they drove him to Parkland Hospital in an attempt to save his life and took him inside there, yellow tape should have gone around that car immediately. It should not have been touched or moved from the Parkland Hospital parking lot where they sped to try to save the president's life. Well, Monday morning, and we have the witnesses, we have the quotes and everything in there. Monday morning, that crime scene was in Detroit, Michigan at the Ford Motor Plant being totally refurbished. No one got to see it. No one got to go through it. No one got to do anything with it.